First and foremost, Allah, Yahweh Bashim, Yahshai Bashim, Rakwakadash. Honest to the head apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Honest to the Akim out there, honest to the elders out there, on the highways and byways, all around the world. And salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and byways, Lord, this word abroad, all around the world. As you can see, it's only a matter of time before these prophecies become a reality, Before these scriptures start, these prophecies start coming to pass, That major prophecy is dealing with the RFID microchip, You got people right now as we speak, that's taking that RFID microchip, That's taking that chip. You got people right now as we speak that's still taking that chip, And ultimately, it's only a matter of time before this whole thing becomes mandatory, that everybody on the face of the earth is going to require to take that RFID microchip, So these prophecies are speaking, and they're not lying, So it's only a matter of time before, Esau, set something up, whether it is, through another major terrorist attack or biological warfare, or however he has plans to implement this chip around the world, So, it's only a matter of time how he does it, but this prophecy will come to pass, Thus saith the Lord. So, reading on, let me get a precept. So this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2. And it reads, "And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it." See? That he may run that readeth it. These are the prophecies, The scripture says, write the vision. How is that vision being written? That vision is being written, through the men of the Lord, through the prophets of the Lord in the scriptures, That's that vision. And that vision are these prophecies, The RFID microchip being implemented, these race wars, martial law, these famines, these concentration camps, Those are all those prophecies that are being written in the scriptures, And that was written from the prophets. Because the prophets of old, they saw these things happening and taking place in these very last days that we're living in. The prophets saw this thing. The prophets saw this. The prophets, they saw these visions. So, reading on. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Now these prophecies, they're not tarrying, because these prophecies, they're surely coming to pass. And there's nothing that anybody could do to stop these prophecies from happening, There's nothing nobody can do that can stop these prophecies from taking place, Because believe me, believe what the Lord has said, these prophecies are going to come to pass, And there's no return, there's no reversing them, there's no turning them back, it's going to come to pass, Because it says it, the Lord said it. This is Isaiah chapter 55, verse 11. And it reads, "So shall my word that goeth forth out of my mouth, and it shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I send it." See? The Lord said that his word is not going to return unto him void. You know? His word is not going to come back void. So you best believe if the Lord has said it, you best believe it's going to come to pass. You know? Just like, you know, the Lord had told us, you know, as the nation of Israel, the people that we see on the sign right here, you know, the Lord said that if we did not keep the prophecy, if we did not listen to what the Lord had said, you know, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, you know, that all these curses will come upon us and overtake us. Was the Lord kidding when he said that? No. Because here in Babylon, we're in captivity under our enemies. And that was one of the curses that was written in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. You know? That was one of the curses that was written in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. And that we will be sold unto our enemies for bond men and bond women. And no man shall buy us. You know? Those prophecies or those curses had taken place. And we're still under these curses to this very same day, you know? So what makes you think that the prophecy of the RFID microchip isn't going to come to pass? Or, you know, the martial law isn't going to come? Or the famine isn't going to come? Or these race wars, you know? Or the sedition amongst men, you know? Or the sedition amongst men, you know? The people uprising against their government, against their power, against the rulers of this land, you know? So the prophecy is coming to pass. The prophecy is coming to pass, and it will surely come to pass. And this is what the men of the Lord are set up to do. They're set up to warn you and to bring out these prophecies in these last days. You know? Because we're the mouthpiece of the Heavenly Father. We're his mouthpiece. You know? We're the Lord's mouthpiece. We're out here to speak his words. So, reading on. So, this is Isaiah chapter 42, verse 9, and it reads, "Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they sprang forth, I tell you of them." You know, the Lord said, before they sprang forth, I tell you of them. You know, before these prophecies, or before anything comes to pass, the Most High raises up the prophets. The Most High raises up his prophets, and to let the people know what's coming down the pipe, you know? So, this is what's taking place, you know? This is what's taking place right now. Before they come to pass, we're telling you of them. So there is no excuse of, oh, I didn't know. Oh, you know, we didn't know. But now that this word is being spread throughout the four corners of the earth, all around the country, all around the world, there is no excuse, you know? Because the word is already out. The men of the Lord are already on the highways and byways, week in and week out, you know, prophesying the downfall of America, you know? Prophesying about these things coming to pass, you know? Prophesying that America, aka Babylon the Great, will be destroyed by way of thermonuclear missile. You know? So there is no excuse now. And then you got brothers, you know, that's uploading shows that are doing videos warning about the destruction of America. Warning about the RFID microchip, you know? this thing is no secret. It's not a secret anymore. You know? The word is out. So there is no I didn't know, or I didn't know, There's none of that. Because the men of the Lord are out here on these highways and byways week in, week out, warning you about what's about to come to pass. And it's just only a matter of time, It's only a matter of time, It's only a matter of time. But people want to take this as a joke. People want to take this as America's going to continue on in its wickedness forever, That America's just going to continue on and nothing's going to happen to America. That America is untouchable. Well, the ancient Egyptians, once upon a time, thought they were untouchable, but the Most High brought them down, through the by the prophet Moses, by Moses, Most High raised up Moses, and he went to Pharaoh and told Pharaoh to let my people go. But Pharaoh refused to let us go, to let the people go, to let the people on the sign go, right? What happened? The plagues started taking effect. The Most High started plaguing Egypt. Until that final plague that took place was, the Passover. Where the Most High smut, the Most High had killed, the Most High sent the death angel down to kill the firstborn of every son that was in the land. And if that death angel didn't see the blood upon the doorpost, you best believe, the death angel would have came in and smote that firstborn of that son. But when the death angel saw the blood post of the children of Israel, saw the blood of that lamb on the doorpost, he passed over. That's what's your hands called the Passover. So those were the plagues that took place. And then when that ultimate plague took place, where the Most High smote the firstborn of every son, that's when Pharaoh let us go. That's when we walked out of Egypt with their great substance. That's when we walked out of Egypt with their great substance. And they went down never to come into power again. Likewise, ancient Babylon, ancient Greek, the Persian and the Mede, what you doing? The ancient Roman Empire. Once upon a time, they were great, but their time came to an end. And America is no different, because America is ancient Rome. It's all these other ancient kingdoms, wrapped up into one ball, all in one. You don't think that America will be destroyed by way of thermonuclear missiles? America is going to be destroyed by way of thermonuclear missiles, thus saith the Lord. Because America is repeating the exact same things that these other kingdoms ruled before it. America is repeating the exact same things that are going on that these other kingdoms were practicing. So therefore, America is going to receive that same fate. But the way America is going to go out, America is going to go out with a big bang. And that big bang are the thermonuclear missiles that's going to hit this place, and that's going to rock the earth to and fro. So we're out here to speak these words unto you. Whether you hear or whether you forbear, So Proverbs chapter 1 verse 20, and it reads, wisdom cried without, she uttered her voice in the streets. She cried in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gate. She uttered her voice, in the chief place of concourse, out here in these streets, where all the major shopping districts are, This is where you gotta be. You gotta be out here in these streets, on the highways and the byways, Because how is your voice gonna be made? How is your voice gonna be made? It's gonna be heard. How are the people gonna hear the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai if they're just sitting behind their keyboard all day, How is the voice of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai gonna be made heard if you're in the house, It can't. Because scripture says that faith without works is dead, You just can't have faith alone and just say that I just have faith and I'm just gonna believe. You gotta put in the work, You gotta put in your time. You gotta put in the work. You gotta do the work. Scripture says, be not hearers, but doers also. Once you hear this truth, and once you hear the word and it resonates within your spirit, and it charges you up and it wakes up your spirit, you have to go out and teach this word, You have to go out to prophesy and to teach this word. And in the process of doing that, to wake up, the hopeful elect that are on the sign right here, That's what you have to do, So you got to be out here in these streets. You got to be out, here in these streets doing this work. In the chief place of concord, on concourse, not the hood, all right? Not the hood. You got to be out in the shopping districts, in the openings of the city. That's where you got to be. So reading on. What's going on, brother? All right. How you doing? Doing all right, man. All right now. You got to be out here in the streets. So reading on. And it reads, how long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity, and the sports delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge, and fools hate knowledge, Our people that are acting foolish, that are just doing whatever they want to do, They don't want to hear the truth. They hate knowledge. They hate the ways of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, They hate to give up, their whole worldly, their worldly attributes. Come back and turn to the Lord and come back to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, They hate to do that, They want to just continue in their folly. They just want to continue wickedness. They just want to do what thy will, So let me just read on. So verse 23, turn ye at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you, and I will make my words known unto you. So the Lord said he will make his words known unto them, And he's making his words known unto you right now. You have brothers out there on the highways and byways, week in and week out, prophesying the downfall of America, warning you that these prophecies are coming to pass. You know, warning you that the so-called white man, you know, Esau Edom, is going to come down having great wrath. Because why? Because he knows that he got but a short time, you know. It's only a matter of time before Esau comes down with his military, starts rounding niggas up, jakes up that don't want to get right with the Lord, throwing you head first in a concentration camp, and telling you to take the chip or we're going to kill your family, you know. Verse 24, because I have called and ye refused, and I stretched out my hand and no man regarded, you know. We are calling, but you know, the great majority of the Israelites out there, you're refusing. You're refusing to hear the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You're refusing to accept truth. You're refusing to accept who you are as a nation. You know? You're refusing to accept this truth. You know, you're refusing to accept your true nationality is a biblical Hebrew Israelite that the Bible speaks of. You're refusing to accept that. You know? So reading on. Verse 25. But ye have sat not at all my counsel, and were none of my reproof. See? This is the counsel of the Lord right here. If you're not sitting at the Lord's counsel, and you're not taking heed to the warning signs and to the prophecies that are about to come to pass. You know? Because you refuse to accept who you are as a nation, and you refuse to believe that the prophecies are not going to come to pass, you know, this is what's going to happen. The Lord said, I will laugh also, I will laugh at your calamity, and I will mock when your fear cometh, you know. So when the Most High, when Esau starts rounding you up, starts killing you, you know, or putting your family members to death right in front of you, the Most High said he's going to laugh. Because that's the only time our people want to turn to their Heavenly Father or want to turn to the Lord is when they're in great danger, you know. They don't want to get right, you know, when everything seems all good, you know, when they can go to the local store or to the local liquor store, you know, to get their food or to get their liquor or their water, you know, or when they're able to go out there to work and make money, you know, and to take care of their families, you know. They don't want to listen then when everything is all good on the surface. But when these prophecies start coming to pass, you know, that EMP, you know, gets shut in the sky and everything is shut down, and everything is shut down, and everything is shut down, and you know, all matters of things start working, you know, all matters of work start going down, you know. All things that start to go down, you know. Everything that starts to go down, you know, that's when they're gonna want to take heed. That's when they're gonna want to take heed. That's when they're gonna want to find men of the Lord that are out there, you know. But the men of the Lord are not gonna be out there because the Most High is gonna seal this thing nice and shut. The Most High is gonna sew this thing up nice and shut, nice and tight. You know, just like when, just like out there, you know, in the days of Noah, just like in the time of Noah, you know, just like in the time of Noah, when Noah was out there 120 years prophesying that a great flood was going to take place, that a great flood was going to come, you know. Yeah, one second. So, yeah. So when Noah entered into the ark, when he was out there 120 years, prophesying, what happened? Noah and his families went into the ark, and when that rain started raining down and coming down, that's when they wanted to take heed. But it was already too late, It was already too late. Because they had plenty of time. They had plenty of time to get themselves right. They had plenty of time to get themselves right and to get in order. But they didn't listen. They didn't take heed to the warning of Noah, of the Heavenly Father to Noah. They didn't take heed. So because they didn't take heed, other death came for them. The Most High swept them away in that flood. But this time, the Most High is not going to use the water anymore. The Most High is not going to use water. He's not going to flood the earth with water no more. But this time, the second death is going to be through fire. In the way of thermonuclear fire. This time it's going to be through fire. The Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, is going to destroy America by fire. And that's right around the corner. So read it on. Verse 29, and when your fear cometh as a desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. See, that's when you're going to call upon the Lord, but the Lord is not going to answer. The Lord is already going to know what you're going to do. When some type of adversity or calamity comes upon you, that's when you want to that's when you want to call upon the Lord. But you're going to call upon that name, Jesus. Jesus God, which that's not the true name of the Heavenly Father, nor that's not the true name of the Son, who the world only called Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai Mashiach. That's not the true name. So, either way, the Lord ain't gonna hear you. Because y'all failed to take heed and to take warning of the men of the Lord that's out here on this highways and byways. That's constantly warning you, week in and week out. That this is about to come to pass. That the days are at hand. But before I come back to this is what I want to bring out another precept. So this is Ezekiel chapter 12 verse 21. And behold, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb in the land of Israel, saying that the days are prolonged and every vision faileth? This is what our people say. They like to say, well, it's not going to happen. They like to say, oh, that's not going to happen. Or they would like to say, oh, I believe that the prophecies is going to take place, but not now, though. Oh, it's not going to happen in my lifetime. And it's not going to happen in my lifetime, That's what they like to say. That's what they like to say. It's not going to happen in my lifetime. Or, yeah, it's going to happen, but not now. Okay, but this is what the word of the Lord says. It says, verse 23, tell them, therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. See, the Lord said that the days are at hand. You know, Scripture says that the days are at hand, and the days are at hand. You know, because time is flying. You know, 2019 is pretty much gone. You know, but there's only 2 months left of this year. Pretty soon 2020 is right around the corner, and before you know it, 2020 is already here. You know, and there's going to be a lot of major things that's going to go down in that year. Best believe that. You know, that's when these prophecies are really going to kick off. You know, that's when these prophecies will really kick off. Verse 24. For they shall be no more any vain vision nor flattering divinations within the house of Israel. Verse 25. For I am the Lord, I will speak, and the words that I speak shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged, for in your days, the Lord said, it shall be no more prolonged, for within your days. You know? So these visions, all these prophecies are coming to pass. You know? They ain't gonna be no more prolonged. You know? No more prolonged. Prophecies are gonna kick off. You may see one prophecy, then you may see another prophecy coming to pass. That's how this thing is gonna go down. And there's no stopping it. You know? There's no stopping it. For in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word, and I will perform it, saith the Lord. You know, the Lord would say it, just like in Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word that goeth forth out of my mouth shall not return unto me void. You know, the Lord is going to say it, and it's going to come to pass. You know. And he has his men out there on the highways and byways, you know, to preach this word, you know, to tell you before it comes to pass. You know? So going back to Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 28. Slack at 29. So we got 28. Then shall seek me. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. You know, you're gonna seek the Lord early, but you're not gonna find him. You know? Because pretty soon the men of the Lord are not going to be out here on these streets too much longer, you know? They're not going to be out here too much longer. They're not going to be out here too much longer telling you and warning you about these things that are about to come to pass, you know? Because the Most High is going to seal this thing up. Verse 29. For that they hate knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord. Verse 30. They were none of my counsel, and they despise all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat their own fruit of their own words and be filled with their own devices. You know? Because you chose not to listen. You chose to ignore the word of the Heavenly Father. You know, you chose to ignore the prophecies. You know, you chose to ignore the warning signs. You're gonna eat your own words in that thing. You know, that time you told one of the men of the Lord, the brothers out there on the highways and byways, that these prophecies are not gonna take place. These prophecies are not gonna come to pass. You know, and when prophecy kicks you dead in the face, you're gonna eat that. You know, you're gonna eat your own words. You know, you're gonna eat your own words. Verse 32. For turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of the fools shall destroy them. See? The prophecies of fools shall destroy them, you know? Because all that prosperity, all your riches is going to come to naught, you know? And anyway, you really don't have time to really prosper like that, because how are you going to prosper when America is about to be destroyed? You know? What good is your prosperity then? It's all vain, you know? So this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 1. And it reads, Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia, woe be unto thee, Egypt and Assyria. Gird up yourself with cloths of slack, and here bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. See? Lord said, for your destruction is at hand, you know. America's destruction and America's demise is at hand, you know. The destruction of America is just at hand, you know. All these other nations, they're fed up with America. They're tired of America, you know. They're tired of America's bullshit. They're tired of America's philosophies, democracy, you know. They're getting fed up. That's why they're acquiring nuclear capability to make that missile and to shoot that missile over here on Babylon the Great. You know? They're not taking America's bullshit much longer. It's like that saying goes, there's only so much you can take. You know? So these other nations, they're not having it. You know, they're not having it anymore. They're not gonna tolerate America coming into their land and coming into their country, dictated to them on how they should live their lives, on how they should live, on how they should conduct business, you know? These other nations, they're not taking it no more. They're not having it. You know? They're not taking it. They're not having it much longer. So reading on. Verse 3. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it away? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? The plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the woods? Or may anyone quench the fire in the stubble when it beginneth to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? You know, this is what the Lord is asking. You know, because it's coming to pass. You know. Coming, these prophecies is coming to pass, and these plagues are coming. And like I said earlier, you know, but like there's nothing anybody can do that's gonna reverse these prophecies, that's gonna reverse these things. You know? You know? There's nothing nobody can do that can turn these prophecies. And this is what the Lord is asking Ezra in this chapter right here, in the 16th chapter. You know? So it says, verse 8, the mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that can quench it? He shall cast lightning, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? Verse 12. The earth quaketh, and the foundation thereof, and the seas arise up with waves from the depths, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. Verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, and his arrow that he shoot are sharp and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. You know? So when the missiles get shot across the earth, you know, when the missiles get shot from over there from the east, and they travel all the way over here to the west, you know, them missiles ain't going back to where they came from. Them missiles are not going to return into the silos from where they got shot at them. You know? Them missiles were designed and were destined to do one thing, and that's to destroy. You know? And that's to destroy. And what are them missiles are going to destroy? Those thermonuclear missiles are going to destroy Babylon the Great, aka America. You know? Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16, and it reads, Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I've created the waster to destroy. You know, that missile, or those smiths are these modern day scientists, you know, that the Most High gave the mindset to create that thermonuclear missile. And that waster to destroy, which is that missile. It's going to destroy America, you know. And once the missiles get shot from overseas, you know, they're not going back. They're not going back to where they came from. They're going to come and they're going to fly over here to fulfill the prophecy that is written in what I just read, Isaiah 54 and 16. You know, that's going to be the fulfillment of that prophecy. You know? So there's no coming back. You know? There is no return. You know? There is no return. The missiles will be shot. They will come over here.
Yeah. Somebody just stole my phone. Seriously, I'm trying to get his phone back. Okay. Oh, the camera. Hi, how you doing?
So, yeah, so that's what's gonna take place. You know? That's our people right here. You know, our people are just bugged out of their mind, you know? Our people are just bugged out of their head. You know, this is why our people gotta be destroyed. You know? There's nothing you could do to resuscitate our people. You know? There's nothing that can be done that's gonna that can resuscitate our people. So when that doctor comes in and they tell that family member that's on life support, look, we did all we can, you know, there's nothing we can do, you know. So what's it gonna be, you know? You're not gonna have no choice but to pull that plug, you know. You just gotta pull that plug. You know? You just gotta pull the plug. You know, you just gotta pull that plug on our people because there's nothing you can do for them. They're just too far gone, you know? They're just too far gone. And there's nothing you can do to resuscitate, you know, our people. So they're just gonna have to just die on this side and just come back in the reincarnation through the hopeful elect men, you know? The men that get delivered up out of here, you know? So there's nothing that can be done against our people. So there's just nothing that can be done, you know? There's just no return, you know? So this is Zechariah chapter 13 verse 8, and it reads, And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein, you know. So 2 parts, that 2/3, you know. So it's prophesied that these 2/3, you know, are these people on the side right here will be cut off and die, you know. So there's just nothing you can do. You just have to just die on this side and just come back and get it right in the kingdom, you know. That's how it's going to be done. there's just nothing you can do for our people, you know. You're just gonna have to just get it right in the kingdom. That's it, you know. You're just gonna have to just get this thing. You're just gonna have to just get it right in the kingdom. Because the days are at hand. Prophecies are coming. So this is the book of Zechariah chapter 14 verse 12. And it reads, "And this shall be the plague with the Lord will I smite all the people that fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth." You know, what is that plague? That plague is that thermonuclear missile. You know, that plague is that thermonuclear missile that can do that. You know, because that director James Cameron, that's where he got the idea. You know, you got Sarah O'Connor. You know, it was all good. You know, it all seemed all peaceful and quiet. You know, and all good and dandy until that nuclear missile came and flew over the land and hit ground zero, and that fire just swept right through. You could see the flesh and our eyes and everything just consume away while she was standing. You know, that's that thermonuclear missile. You know, that's going to be the plague, the final and ultimate plague of America. You know, that's going to be America's final destination. You know, that's going to be that final plague, is that thermonuclear missile. And there's nothing nobody can do to turn that away. You know, there's nothing nobody can do to stop it. You know, you can't stop the words of the Heavenly Father. You cannot stop the prophecy from coming to pass. You know how much peace treaties all you other nations are doing amongst each other, not to have thermonuclear warfare. They're not going to stop that prophecy from coming to pass, because it's going to come to pass, thus saith the Lord. And there's no stopping it. You know, there's no stopping it from coming. These thermonuclear missiles will be shot and they will destroy their target, which is aka Babylon the Great, aka America. You know? AKA Babylon the Great, which is America. But before that happens, you know, you're going to have all types of chaos that's going to reign through it all in America. You know, before them thermonuclear missiles come and finish this place off, you're going to have all types of calamity and all types of uproars happening in America on a grand, large scale. You know, you're going to have these Marines, special forces, that's just going to come in and that's just going to kill a lot of these people out here. You know, you're going to have race wars, major race wars are coming. You know, and not to mention the famine. You know, when there's no food or water, no cannibalism. You know, you're going to have mothers eating their own kids. You're going to have people eating one another because of the lack of bread. You know? Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 16, and it reads, "For there shall be sedition among men, and evading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and their own course of their actions shall stand in thy power." You know, so these people are not going to regard these senators or these mayors or these congressmen, you know, or these higher ups, you know, the president, you know. These people, they're not going to listen to them. They're not going to regard what they say, because when their stomach is touching their back, and when their kids are looking and starving, you know, they're gonna take actions. They're gonna take it upon themselves to go out there and to take whatever they need to take, you know, and they're gonna do it by force. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. You see, a man is going to desire to go into a city and to go into a place, but he's not going to be able, you know. He's not going to be able, because they're going to have checkpoints at every city, on every block, you know. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. You see, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Because there's not going to be no 911 to call in that day, you know. There's not going to be no 911 to call in that day. 911 is going to be inoperable in that day, you know. And when there's no cops to call and there's no law and order, what do you got? You got utter chaos. Anything goes. You know? Survival of the fittest. That's what you have. You know? And a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. See? Because of the lack of bread and great tribulation, you know. That friend that you was buddy with, you know, like he was your neighbor, you know, and that day when he ain't got no food, you know, to feed his children, and he knows that you got food in your house, what he's gonna do? He's gonna kick in your door, kill you, and take the food, you know. That's what he's gonna do. There's not gonna be no mercy out here, no mercy. It's going to be an utter, all-out chaos, you know, and there's no stopping it, you know. So with that, you know, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Rakwapadash, the honors to the head apostles and great millstone at Rural, you know. Honors to the elders out there on the highways and byways, you know, throughout the various camps around the country and around the world. Salutations to the Yakim out there on the highways and byways, north and abroad. With that, I want to say, Kwam Yasha Allah, Shalom.